Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to walk you through the real differences between Docker and Podman. Most engineers get this comparison wrong. They assume it is just about command aliases. But the reality is that choosing the wrong one can lead to massive security holes or breaking changes in your CI/CD pipeline. I have seen teams migrate to Podman to get away from a daemon, only to realize their entire deployment script was hard-coded for the Docker socket. That is exactly what we are going to fix today. This is the definitive guide to understanding how these two engines actually function under the hood. We are moving beyond the surface-level comparisons to look at the operational impact on your infrastructure. Specifically, that includes the architectural differences, the security model, container lifecycle management, performance benchmarks, and a final decision framework. These are the topics we are going to cover in this video. So do not skip ahead. Watch all the way through to actually understand this properly. Quick note, before we dive in, this channel shares practical IT tutorials every week. So if that is useful to you, hit subscribe and join our WhatsApp community linked in the description for more resources. So what is the real question here? It is not about which tool is better in a vacuum. It is about which tool fits your specific infrastructure. Are you running on a single developer laptop, or are you managing a multi-node production cluster? That is the question you need to answer. Think of Docker like a central manager at a busy restaurant. Every order, every task, and every employee goes through that one manager. If the manager goes down, the restaurant stops. In Docker, that manager is the daemon. If you want the full deep dive on installing this on Linux, we already have a full tutorial on this channel. You will find the link in the description. Now, what is Podman? Think of Podman like a decentralized system where every worker knows their job and manages their own station. There is no central manager that can fail. This makes Podman inherently more secure because you do not need root privileges to manage containers. So how do they compare visually? On the left, Docker forces everything through a single root-owned socket. On the right, Podman lets you run everything as a standard user process. This is the single biggest architectural divide between the two. In Docker, you use the standard client interface. Notice we are binding the container to port 8080. Everything here interacts with the background daemon. If the daemon hangs, your container commands will time out. This is exactly what you should see. The container is up, the port mapping is active, and the status shows as running. This confirms the daemon successfully registered the new workload. Now look at Podman. The syntax is almost identical, right? But under the hood, Podman is spawning the container process directly. There is no daemon involved. If you run this as a non-root user, the container is owned by you, which is a massive security improvement for shared servers. The output is nearly identical. But notice the status and command info. Podman is tracking the process ID directly in your user session. This is cleaner and much easier to debug with standard tools like system control or process list. Let us talk numbers. First, security. Podman wins because it does not require root. Second, ecosystem. Docker is still the king for CI/CD plugins. Third, Kubernetes. Podman can generate pod definitions natively. Fourth, stability. Docker is rock solid but acts as a single point of failure. Finally, the learning curve. Since Podman aliases to Docker, you can switch today without relearning everything. So when should you choose one over the other? Use Docker if your existing pipelines are heavily dependent on the Docker socket or specific Jenkins plugins. Use Podman if you are building secure, rootless infrastructure or if your end goal is native Kubernetes integration. Podman is the natural choice for Red Hat Linux environments. Specifically, that includes use Docker for legacy CI or CD pipelines relying on the socket. Use Docker when you need maximum plugin support. Use Podman for high-security environments requiring rootless. Use Podman when integrating with native Kubernetes workflows, and use Podman for local development on Red Hat systems. Now for the mistakes. The biggest one is assuming all third-party tools that talk to the Docker socket will just work with Podman. They often do not. Second, failing to enable lingering for your user means your containers die when you log out. Third, never mix these two in a single script. It causes absolute chaos in your environment variables and state management. Consider this. An e-commerce platform was hitting massive scale during a flash sale. Their Docker daemon was acting as a bottleneck. Every time the daemon spiked, every container on the host stalled. They moved to Podman, removed the daemon, and the stability issues vanished. That is the real impact of architectural choices. To recap, Docker remains the industry standard with the largest ecosystem support. Podman provides a safer, daemon-less architecture that is perfect for secure, multi-user environments. Docker uses a centralized daemon, while Podman gives you independent processes. Podman shines in Kubernetes native workflows. And remember, the CLI syntax is largely shared, making the transition easier than ever. If you found this comparison useful, hit subscribe and join our WhatsApp community linked in the description for more production-ready tutorials. We share practical, no-fluff content every week to keep you ahead in your career. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.